I'm Megan Edwards with MiningIR, and we are at the mining investment event with Daren Cooke, who is the CEO of Firefly Metals Limited, which is on the ASX as FFM, and the TSX also FFM. Thank you for being here.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Can you tell us a bit about yourself and how you got into mining?
Yeah, well, look, I'm the CEO, but a geologist by background. So been in mining for nearly 30 years now. And, like for a lot of geologists, started off with a love of rocks and also really being interested in finding gold. Families in mining, that sort of thing. So
Yeah.
it was a passion from an early age.
Mhm.
And then as soon as I got my degree, did a lot of traveling, worked for some big companies, Barrick, Newmont, Northern Star Resources, and all over Australia and North America. So,
That's good.
and brings me to Newfoundland now.
Yeah, now you're here in Canada,
Yeah,
which is crazy. Very, very far from Australia.
it is a long way, and
Yeah.
I can attest to that because I just got off the plane
Did you?
late last night.
Wow, I feel that. I had a 2-hour flight and I thought that was long.
Try 40.
Can you give us a quick overview of Firefly Metals?
Yeah, so look, we're an ASX and TSX listed company really focused on developing high-grade copper and gold projects in Canada. Our flagship project's the Green Bay Copper Gold Project, and it's located in central Newfoundland. And, it's one of the highest grade undeveloped copper projects in North America. The grade's over 2% copper. That's more than 4 times the average grade of a copper mine. And being an historical mine, we can get it up back into production pretty quickly.
Absolutely. I was going to ask you more about that, more about being in Newfoundland doing that, and what makes it an exciting jurisdiction for exploration.
Yeah, look, just the fact that there hasn't been a lot of money spent on serious modern exploration. So, the last 20 or 30 years, Newfoundland has missed out on that, real key growth in exploration expenditure, and that's the opportunity that we see. Also, from a jurisdictional point of view, it's a brilliant place to work. We have a lot of community support, a lot of government support, and people really want us to be successful and get the mine up and going.
Absolutely. What are some of the company's recent milestones or big news?
Yeah, so look, we acquired this project only a year and a half ago, so it's been a very big year and a half for us. We're already underground drilling. We've increased the number of rigs from 1 rig when we first started. We now have 7 rigs on site, moving to 8 to really accelerate it.
Yeah.
And what we've done with that drilling is firstly, really increased the resource significantly. When we bought it, it was 40 million tonnes. In the first year, we've added 20 million tonnes to it, and we've got it up to 60 million tonnes. And those rigs are continuing to grow the deposit. So it's still open at depth, it's still going, and we haven't found the end of the ore body yet. So we'd expect to see the growth continue. What we've started to do recently as well is some of the surface exploration, because we truly believe that there's more of those deposits out there.
Yeah.
The type of deposit geologically we're dealing with rarely occurs as an orphan. You never just find one, there's a cluster of them around. So
Right.
we've just put out some recent exploration results, which really are starting to show that it's a camp, it's not just a single deposit. So we're really excited about the discovery potential.
Absolutely. What should investors be watching for in the next 6 to 12 months, would you say?
Yeah, there's a couple of really key milestones for us coming out. We're going to put out our first mining studies towards the end of this year. So that'll be really positive for the investors, and I think it'll show a very robust economic project and moving forward. We'll see things on the permitting side of things. We're very close to getting our permitting in place to re-establish that mine. And there'll be further resource growth as well. The other key thing for investors to look at is that exploration potential that I just spoke to previously. I think we're going to really surprise people with what we find in the district.
Yeah, sounds like it. What sets Firefly Metals apart from others in the copper gold exploration space?
Yeah, look, there's a couple of things that really sets us apart. One is the board and management have a track record of building mines and raising capital. So, we have access to both Canadian and Australian markets to raise capital. And I think that, we're accelerating our work and we can afford to do that. The other thing that really sets us apart is the time frame to get this into production, given that it was historically a producing mine. We can get back into production within like 3 to 4 years, which is very quick for a copper project. You think about some of the South American projects, it takes like decades to bring those projects from discovery to production. It takes billions and billions of dollars of capital to do that. And we're in the fortunate position is because we have such great established infrastructure already,
Mhm.
we can get it done really quickly and we can get it done for fairly minimal capital.
Perfect. Where can viewers go find more information about you?
Look, our website, fireflymetals.com.au is a great place to start.
Okay.
And also, because we are listed on the TSX, there's a lot of information available on CDAR in terms of technical reports and that sort of thing. We're covered by a lot of the major banks in terms of the research. So you're on coverage with BMO, Stifel, RBC. A lot of the big banks cover us. So there's plenty of information out there available for investors to review.
Okay. Well, I will let you go. Have fun at the conference. And
Thank you very
thank
much.
you for your time.
No, thank you.
Yeah.